Hey, scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a very all about me layout. I ended up taking a lot of selfies in February, if you didn't know that from watching my other videos, and I decided that it would be a good conglomeration of photos to do my like February right now card. I included that card in my regular Project Life monthly page for January, but I ran out of room in my Project Life monthly page, plus I decided I had all these photos, so I would just, work with them all, especially since I wanted to use my swoon collection. This goes right next to the 9x12 layout I did with the swoon collection of Finn and I, so it's going to coordinate across the page, so I wanted to use that. And what I'm doing right now is I'm backing all of these photos with 3x4 cards just to spread the pattern around the page and, get little pops of color here and there. This spread is this video is only sped up 1.5 times. This spread literally took me less than 20 minutes. So it's a really simple and easy way to use those digital things that you have printed out but just kind of have sitting around waiting to be used. I'm going to trim the white borders on all of these. They were uneven and some of them were a little bit too thick because I wasn't seeing enough pattern. So I'm just going to trim them all, but I'm going to fast forward through it so that you don't have to watch me trim them all. I'm just going to skip right ahead to having them all glued down. You can see I used some of the printable cards and some of the patterned paper so that, first of all, I knew that I wasn't going to use all of these cards. They're very lovey-dovey, very Valentine's Day themed, and they are perfect for that, but we are past Valentine's Day at this point. So I'm just going to use the ones that I have already printed in other ways, basically just for the patterned edge. And then I also have that February Details card is from Allie Edwards, and so is that quote card at the bottom. So I'm combining those two products from the story kits with my hybrid product, and it works perfectly. That quote kit, the colors don't match, but they're so subtle that it doesn't really matter. It looks fine to me. So I'm going through all of these die cuts and I'm pulling out ones that I might actually end up using and putting away the ones that I'm not going to use. I end up using a lot of florals. I was going to go with hearts at first, but then I decided that a lot of hearts on photos of me was a little weird and narcissistic. So I do end up using some hearts, obviously. But I end up sticking with a majority of florals. So just getting through the rest of these. A lot of these word bits are very Valentine's Day themed. So, or not Valentine's necessarily. Nothing actually even says Valentine's Day, but they're very lovey-dovey themed. So they were easy to move on from. So here come all of the hearts at first. I love these patterned hearts, they're so cute. And you can't hardly see on that red one, but there's a pattern in the background of the red as well. Some of these, so I printed these photos large, larger than I normally print 3x4s, plus also, there was my face because I dropped something. But I also, they're really cropped close because that's how I tend to take selfies, is cropped in close enough that you don't see much behind me. So a lot of these embellishments were a little bit big for the spread that I was working with. Now, if I had printed them out specifically for this spread, I could have avoided that problem. But I printed them out as full sheets when I was doing the unboxing for this collection. So they're already printed, and printing more would have been too much of a waste of time and ink for me when I already had them printed. So I'm going to make them work, these large floral clusters and things like that. I'm just going to you know, run them off the edge and get them as far away from faces as I can so that I don't have to reprint anything. Now this one is really big. At this point, I'm not quite sure what to do with it. So I'm leaning towards the smaller ones first. Now I'm thinking, do I need a flower on everything? Let's just start sticking things down and we'll make it work. I like to wait until I'm sure about placement of things before I trim them off, because once you cut, you can't get that piece back very easily. So the flowers I leave hanging off the edge for a little bit. I want to make sure that there's little pieces of the leaves and things sticking onto the photo and not just a flower, so kind of angling the flowers the way that will work for that. There, I like the way that that's coming out. They're almost like photo corners. So now that I've decided I like that, trimming can happen as I go along. So I didn't want to do all flowers on everything. So I do have that sweet as can be, which I thought was funny because I look like I'm being mischievous in that photo. I think the caption on the photo was a little bit attitude about waiting for the bus or something like that. So it made sense in my head, the sarcasm. This currently loving is perfect for this spread because that's basically what the card is about. I really struggled with this bottom photo and what to put on it. Thought maybe this arrow, but it was so thick and chunky, it didn't work right. So I decided to go with this diamond. And fun fact, I have a diamond tattooed on the front of my shoulder. So, and it looks just like this, except it's not colored in, so it's perfect. Especially since I just put it on my shoulder. And yes, that is the correct shoulder. Then I decided to put this hello love. There we go. All right. I think I'm just about done here with the embellishing. So I'm going to add a title to that that card with the heart swag on it. And I decide to pull in some thickers. Ah, yes, that's what I did. First, I had these sitting on the side of my desk from a previous project. And I was like, you know what, let's just add more words, more stickers. So I add a bunch of white word strips to these floral clusters. That seemed appropriate for a big layout of selfies. Decided to cut this one in half because I had run out of room. There we go. That added the perfect little like anchor for those photos, I think. Now I decide that I'm going to add my title in. Decided I liked that better. I don't know why. It just looked better to me. I'm contemplating what I want to make a title with. I didn't want to pull out those Cocoa Daisy letter stamps again. So I go and I get a pack of thickers from Christmas. I got 2 sets of them. I bought 1 set and then 1 came in a Cocoa Daisy collection. So I have enough letters to write Pieces of Me, which goes with the Ali Edwards story kit for this month, which is what I pulled that card from. So the quote on the card is, let's see. She is a beautiful piece of broken pottery put back together by her own hands, and critical world judges her crack while missing the beauty of how she made herself whole again. So I thought that Pieces of Me was a good play on that card. So I just kind of put them on the card all wonky-like, pulling out the rest of these letters. And then I have some empty space at the bottom of the card that was kind of bugging me. So I'm going to add a black word strip, and I find one that works and put it right at the bottom. And this spread is just about done. I'm going to add in my journaling off camera. I didn't know if I wanted to add like a little flower or heart with it, but it didn't work out well, so I just left it the way it was. But if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. And if you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I am at Traci M. Reed. All right, thank you.